Alright, I'm here with this Dabbsson DBS2300. This one is mislabeled. It is the Plus model, and I'm going to show you why. But first I wanted to go over a few of the things about it. So it offers a pass-through charging, and as you can see I have it plugged into the wall. I have this charger over here plugged in. Says it has 99 hours to run. We're getting 152 in and 87 out. The UPS mode on this is not an actual UPS mode. It's not an instantaneous backup. It says it's 15 milliseconds, so pretty fast, and we're going to test that out here. Unplugging this. So there, it kicked over, and as you can see the wattage actually jumped. So the pass-through charging, it was using whatever it needed to charge the battery and then passing through the rest. This says it is a 12 hours run time on 100 watts. So when you do the math on that, you're looking at 1200 watt hours. It was labeled as 2330 watt hours. And so we'll have to check that out, see how long it can actually run. You have 4 AC ports on the DBS Plus. On the original you just have 5 AC ports, but this one has a parallel port, and if you have 2 of these units you could link them together and have a 240 plug. You have all your charging up here. You have a fast charge and a slow charge option on this device, so you don't have to do it through the app. And then there's a couple settings for like your standby and eco mode. That all is how it will shut off if it's not being used. One thing, turn this off real quick. That's your AC off. See how it shut off? And I do have a phone charging for the app. I'm going to show you this app. So on the app, you can turn your AC back on. And it'll show you which USB is actually using what wattage. And there's a different mode for this, and then there's your input, your AC, solar, there's your charge, your discharge, your output. But when you go to the actual output, it shows you your AC, your USB, and then you can go in here if you're more used to like Blue Eddy. So I'm gonna get the settings, but it doesn't want to. Other. Home style page. You can choose powerful. And this is more of a Blue Eddy setup. EcoFlow as well, I've seen them. But it's more basic. You can click the battery on this, and it'll actually bring up the temperature of the battery and a little bit of your charging info, and so on and so forth. Pretty good app. devices. One thing though, it does have to be connected to Wi-Fi, and there is a Wi-Fi reset button right here. That's from the charger. Yeah, so there is that. And it says 11.9 hours. It still hasn't even dropped 1% though. But this thing's rated for 2200 watt output with a 4000 watt peak. So I'm going to set this camera up and we're going to plug in a vacuum. I have the camera ready to go. The vacuum over here. We're going to actually the vacuum. We'll go ahead and unplug it from here. So there you go. And I didn't even have to turn on the power boost for that, but it did drop 1%, so there's that. I did try and run my furnace off of this thing, and I'll post that, but it had a ground fault and would not produce heat. I ended up rigging something up in my electrical panel, and I'll show you guys that here in a minute. But I'm able to run my furnace and 4 bedrooms off of this thing with everything on in the bedroom. Before we go play with the panel, I wanted to show you, here's all the cords you get. It is the Anderson charger from your car. It is your solar charger Anderson to MC4. And of course your AC plug for a wall outlet into the generator. So another way I knew this was a plus, and I contacted support on this, it says on the side 12 amp max right there under the 12. I don't know if you can see it, but it's 12 volt to 60 volt and 12 amp max. So in the actual booklet I got with this, it said solar charger 25 amp max 800 watt. So I contacted support and they told me if it had that parallel port, then it was mislabeled in the factory, and it is indeed the plus model. Just click this. That's nice. And then your circuit breaker right there. So you have your 3 USBs, 3 USB-Cs, a cigarette port, DC, it says it's 378 watt DC. I don't know what it's for. And then these guys, I've never used those, but you have 2 of those as well. This device port, and it is the product upgrade port. So that's what that's for. Maybe if they have an update, they send you something. I don't know how you get it updated, but alright, now before we start, this should go without saying, but if you do not know what you're doing in an electrical panel, please just don't attempt this. Get somebody who does know what they're doing to hook up your circuits. I myself have been an electrician for 13 years, and I'm more than comfortable doing this and well qualified. So just be careful out there, guys. Don't go testing things that you're curious to see. Get yourself shocked. This is serious. Serious power. Alright, I'm sorry for the camera angle. I'd need both hands to do this. Alright, so not my work, but the work of the builders. Let's see which one is our furnace. So we have furnace, heater, dryer, washer, heater. So we have dryer, washer, heater. Alright, so this should be the heater. That guy goes right here. So that's the furnace. And the neutral is just going to be landed on the neutral bus. So I have rigged up this guy. It's just a cord cap, you know, some MC. Just kidding, Romex. So let's go ahead and land all this. So I went ahead, I stripped it out a little more. I'm gonna go ahead and bond it to the ground bus since the panel is not bonded itself, which I'll have to fix that myself in a later date, I guess. We're gonna go ahead and land our neutral as well. Also, I would use insulated tools, not just bare. But, you know, it's all I had. They're in your hole. Sometimes you just don't want to go in their holes. I don't want to go in there too, because it's hot. It's a hot panel. Alright. Tighten that up. Keep that ground because it is bare, away from everything. Alright, so I have the furnace off here. We'll go show you that. So there we go. HVAC lost power. Let's see if we can rectify that. Turn it off, that way it doesn't just kick right on. We're back in the panel. We got the what's gonna be plugged in here, and we got the furnace. So this will be dead because that breaker's off. But let's see if we can get it without stripping it. Okay. Sometimes they just, you know, impacts and panels don't go well, guys. Never use an impact in a panel. Alright, I'm gonna be real sketchy like, and I'm gonna grab a wire nut and just twist these together. I forgot my wire nut, so my wife will be right here with the wire nut for me. We'll get this rolling.
It's freaking colder.
Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
Okay, so wiring up.
I'm allowed to use a dryer, right?
Yeah, of course. I think so. Alright, so that's the furnace tied up. Sorry for the hand there. Yeah, come down and find this here guy. So we're going to just go ahead, plug her in. Oh yeah, new fresh plugs, always tough to get in. Got that AC on. We're not reading anything. Let's go turn this furnace on and see what we get. Alright, we're at the furnace. So, again, we turned it off. Let's change it to heat. And I have not turned on the power boost. We don't have power loss anymore. We're going to go ahead and crank it up, just see if it runs. There we go. So it turned on. And it is running. So here's what happened last time because I somehow lost the footage. I plugged this directly into my unit. And if you see here, simultaneous flash, normal operation. Alternating flash, improper main ground, or line voltage below 90 volts. I'll do a voltmeter and show you guys. It does push 120 volts constant, so it had to be the improper main ground, which I also did a continuity test on it. It's not continuitying between the neutral. They don't have a ground tied to neutral. It's not, you know, I don't know why it's improper ground. But I don't know, maybe that's something I'll contact customer support about as well and see what's going on. So, but for now, oh no, it's alternating. Slow flash, fast flash. Fast flash, slow flash. So it's slow flash, flame signal, check flame sensor. Low flame signal, check flame sensor. Let's go make sure this thing isn't messed up. We will be right back. Alright, I mean out here it's pulling 430 watts. Says it'll run for 3.8 hours. This is not equivalent to 2000, but we'll see. Alright, so I went and turned the furnace off. We're gonna hook it back into the power. It did start blowing heat, by the way. So I don't know what the low flame signal was about, but it was getting toasty. Put that back into the grid power, and then I'll be right back to show you some bedrooms. Alright, got it disconnected, and here we go. Back. Ooh. Getting a little tingle from that ground there. Because, you know, it's plugged. This is plugged into AC power, which I should probably turn off so this isn't hot. Smart guy. Alright. Go ahead and re-land that. Oh god, I don't know why they made these wires so tight in this panel. Horrible, horrible execution. It's okay. We can't all be good at, you know, what we do. There you go. So, furnace should be back on. Now let's go ahead and make the wife really mad. I'm gonna take my bedroom. So, master bed. Bed 1 and 2 is my daughter's. Let's find the master bed. Master bed, right above the heater. So, that's that. And this is on an arc fault breaker, so the neutral's actually landed onto the breaker. By the way, I'm so sorry if I'm blocking the camera. But you get the gist. And nobody paid me to do this, like Dabbsson. They didn't send me this. I bought this thing, and I was curious to see if we have a power outage, because I live in Oklahoma, and we always have power outages, how much I could run. So, alright, neutral's tied up. Let's see, power back on. Boom. Boom. 93 watts. 150 watts. Let's go turn on the rest of the room and see how long I could last. Alright, ceiling fan's on. TV's on. Go ahead. Turn the PlayStation on. We got a lamp over here and a Nintendo Switch. We'll turn that guy on. See, green light. Got another TV. Turning that on right now. There we go. I mean, this power bar is just full. It has internet. Internet. You know, PlayStations, TV, lights. My closet's tied in with it. And we're pulling 298 watts. 5.1 hours. So I mean, in a power outage, obviously you don't need all of this. You know, a couple lights, maybe some heat. I have a heating blanket that pulls, you know, 90 watts. So if this will last 5 hours, 90 watts should last 15 hours, theoretically. So I mean, obviously you'll want to figure out what you're going to be using it for, and bang for your buck. But I paid $1,200 for this thing, and for everything I was looking at on the market, 2300 watt hours is well over $1 an hour almost in most devices. Maybe a little bit less if you get them on sale here and there, but the $1,200 for 2330 watt hours is almost 50 something cents a watt hour, whereas EcoFlow, Bluetti, they're offering, you know, maybe 2,000 hours for $2,000. And yeah, the one on Bluetti that I was looking at has a 2400 watt output, but I mean 2200 watt output is fine for what I'm going to be using it for. So it depends on what you're going to be using it for. I've ran my coffee pot off of this. I've ran obviously I've tried out multiple different breakers. This is just, you know, what I can test right now because the kids are sleeping. But it's all in all, bang for your buck. This is probably one of the best, and the fact that it does have that parallel port over here to offer, you know, the 240 plug. If you get another one of these, you can plug in 2 batteries actually to this guy right here. There's two different battery ports. sorry you can't see them in the lighting, but the flaps are there. So you plug in those two, and they're 3,000 watt-hour batteries. You can get this guy up to 8.3 kilowatts. And then if you add another one, plug it in, 8.3 kilowatts, you're up to 16.6 kilowatts. And you're looking at, you know, a whole home backup. That's bigger than a Tesla Powerwall right now. And another good thing I read about these is the actual battery bank that you can buy to hook into this offers its own solar connection, which a lot of them don't. A lot of them, they just charge off the main unit, which everyone's like, oh, that's pretty good. But when you think about it, you're getting more solar input because you can plug in more solar to the batteries to charge up more watt hours per day. So if you can't get this full in a day, maybe you can get this to 50% plus the other batteries. You know, you're getting more watt hours out of that than you would being able to just plug your machine in to charge all the extra batteries as well. Yes, you would have to buy more solar, but in the long run, I think it's worth it. Another thing is this has a 4,500 charge cycle. So I mean 4,500, the others are offering 2,500 to 3,500. So I'm curious to see if it holds up for 4,500 charges. I mean, you use it daily for 10 years, fully discharging it and recharging it, and then it may drop to 80%. It has a semi-solid state LiPo 4 EV battery. The people who made it are I mean, they're new to power stations, but batteries themselves, they're state-of-the-art batteries. So as far as I could tell, it's sturdy, has these handles, plenty of USB ports, 4 AC plugs. For what I'm going to be using it for, it is more than enough. And I mean, you can see it's just, you know, there's no problem. I haven't even heard it heat up at all throughout this whole test. And yeah, I'm not running it at 2,200 watts, but you know, that's not something I would be doing normally. So I do have a Blue Eddy EB3A, and I bought that and tested this, and it actually ran all these as well, except for it did not run the vacuum at full power. It ran it at 400 watts, which I could tell my vacuum was weak and I didn't want to damage the motor, so I unplugged it. But this runs it at full power. It's a great investment for 3 times the price of a Blue Eddy if you get it on sale. I mean, the Blue Eddy EB3A is 267 watt hours, and it costs $300. So when you're looking at 2,330 watt hours for $1,100, you're really getting a deal, and you know, triple the output. It's just, I don't know if you can hear that. That's about as loud as it gets. Also, there's that light. All of them kind of offer, you know, 3 settings: SOS and bright and medium. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think or whatever. I'll probably be doing a lot more tests with this and showing you what all it can run eventually, but for now it's pretty late and everybody's sleeping, so I'm gonna go ahead and swap my power back over, kill the internet one more time, piss off the baby, and go to bed. So I forgot I said I would do a voltage test on this to show you guys that it indeed was pushing 120 to that furnace. So I'm gonna come over here, AC on, hear it click, and that's your little AC 60 hertz it shows there. plug this guy in. I'll show you there. 120. Oh. Okay. Turn this big beast. Alright, so there we got it plugged in. 120. And I'll go ahead and show you guys the continuity. So, obviously, you cannot get 240 out of these units because it's all one circuit. So hot to hot to hot to hot. And a 120 amp breaker essentially. You have your neutrals tied, but you do not have them tied to ground. And for some reason I get voltage off of my neutral to ground. When it should just be hot to ground. So, not sure what is going on there, but let's check the ground to ground. So, all your grounds are connected, and they're not connected to the hot, obviously, but for some reason, I don't know, for some reason they don't want to give me voltage sometimes. We'll see. There we go. But I don't know why it doesn't read 120. It only reads 120 in between hot and neutral. Usually you should get 120 in between your hot and your ground as well. So, well, that's all I really got. If you have any questions, if I didn't do anything that you would like to see done with this machine other than me blowing it up, I did pay for this myself. I'm not like those reviewers that get all the free stuff sent to them. I'm doing this because I think this is a good product, and I also wouldn't be wasting my time. But if you have any questions about the specs or what I've done or what this thing can do, go ahead and leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you.